What's going on, guys? It's Suareezy here, back at you with another Market Mondays. Today we'll be going over what exact levels we should be looking at for crypto this week. Alright, so first up we got Bitcoin on the 24-hour time frame, and let's go over what we've seen this last week. We did say that we did want to see the potential pullback to our potential trend line or getting the retest to the last 100%. And notice we are actually getting that pullback, and we did get the retest to the top of our monthly level, 28.6 as well. So currently we were saying that we did want to see accumulation coming to about an apex point to see whether we would get the breakdown or the breakout. Currently we're playing right on that trend line as we speak, so still sit with the same consensus. We are still looking for a potential pullback and looking for the potential volume to come in. Notice our momentum is actually starting to curl a bit. If we start to get the volume that actually starts to kick around, then we can utilize this trend line as a potential support to give us a retest to that high. If the volume does not happen to come in here, then the consensus will stay the same as last week, looking for the retest of the trend line. And if we don't hold this trend line, looking for the retest of this 25.2 level, which was 100% of a 8-month range prior to that. So this is a very key level that we're playing at with Bitcoin, and it definitely needs to accumulate to make another move. And we are starting to get into that point where we will either break out or break down. It is getting to a point where it does have to potentially pick one of those directions. So ideally, if we happen to crack that 25.2, the next level would be our next monthly trend line that we have, and then right beneath that would be the 23.957 area with our other monthly levels sitting right beneath us. So currently one of the main things that we should be looking at is going to be the volume. If the volume starts coming in just like we've seen here, then ideally we can get another push off of multiple trend lines like we did prior, because technically we are still in trend. We are just getting a healthy pullback as of right now. So just be concerned about these multi-month trend lines, and also know where the 100% zones were from prior breakout zones. Even though this was about 8 months ago, this is still a level that we should be very concerned with if we happen to be this area here. So ideally looking for the volume, and also looking at your monthly areas and your trend lines to see where we can potentially go or potentially bounce / reverse off of. So definitely keep an eye on the volume and our candlestick formations. If we happen to get 2 candlesticks that engulf this whole consolidation that's happening here, then ideally we can get 100% move to that downside, same range from this area to this area. So looking for a move that pretty much takes us right down to our monthly level if it happens to break truly. So this is definitely something to keep an eye on this week, and that was going to be it for Bitcoin. Alright, next up we got Ethereum. But before we jump into Ethereum, if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so, as it really helps the channel grow. Also, make sure to turn on those notification buttons to be notified whenever we have any new videos being dropped. So on to Ethereum. Alright, so we got ETH on the 24-hour time frame, and let's see exactly what we're doing within the last week. We did see that we got the potential push, didn't get the touch of our 1886, but we did get the pull to our multi-month trend line, and notice how we're starting to kind of react right off of that. We bounced right off of it, came right back down, pulled beneath, pushed right up into it, and are currently rejecting the multi-month trend line. So ideally taking us to our 1700 level pretty much as we speak. So currently what we should be watching for is this breakout of this zone. So if we happen to break out of either directions of these zones, ideally looking for 100% of that move, which should take us near about 1550 around this zone, which would be the last 100% from about November to the beginning of January. So this is a very key level for Ethereum to be definitely making a move. Notice a few things. We have our momentum that's actually starting to curl downwards. We have no volume that's actually coming in, which is a good sign for the bears. And we're also seeing that if we do not get the volume kicking in like we did here, also like we did with Bitcoin, we will not get the continuation push. Though we are still currently in trend, this pool is very healthy. Just we need to solidify a true base with volume. That is going to be the key. Wherever we get the true base with volume is going to solidify confidence in the direction of where ETH really wants to go on the bigger picture. So if we happen to just get a pull to this monthly trend line and we start getting buyers to come in, this could still be a very bullish in sentiment. If we start getting pullbacks that take us near 1400 and 1281, this is going to be healthy pullback because we will still be in trend, but it will take a little while for that to continue that upward trajectory in the long term. So it really depends on where we happen to reverse off of this healthy pullback. That will give us the consensus of how strong ETH is looking to continue to push, if it's looking to continue to push. So definitely keep an eye out on this 1700 level. Keep an eye out on this multi-month trend line that we have drawn. And if we happen to break this multi-month trend line, ideally starting to retest that bottom of this 100% zone that we're playing within from January to about the beginning of March. So about 1550 to 1460, around that zone, if we actually happen to break to the downside. Again, if we happen to get volume that actually starts kicking back up, looking to retest the next level that we just broke through. So if we break through this 1700 zone and we start retesting this multi-month trend line, and ideally starting to come back and see if we could retest that monthly level to see if we will break through that or if we're going to get the rejection for continuation down. So we're in a very key spot for crypto to be making a move, and definitely be aware of these levels going forward. Another thing to note is going to be the candlestick formations. If you start seeing multiple candlesticks breaking this whole consolidation area, then it's very probable that we will get that 100% move of the range to that downside. So again, just being aware of these levels and knowing if the volume is coming in or not. So that was going to be it for this week's Market Mondays, and I'll catch you on next week's Market Mondays.